Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso, you're live at S3. And here's something that you may not have heard of before, because often games are about escapism. You have to break the rules. However, there's something new for you. There are games where you actually have to follow the rules in order for you to get the points you need to clock these games. And I never thought that we'd have this conversation with a man who loves the games that are so escapist and breaking all the rules, but let's follow them for once. It's something different. Grant Hines is here to tell us about the games where you have to obey the rules.
Yeah, the games, uncut. You know what I'm saying? These are the games that we want to see more often. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because sometimes following the rules makes it more fun. You know, look at any sports match.
Yes.
When you watch sports, when the rules are there and you don't follow them, it's kind of rubbish to watch, you know? So one of the things about road rules in games is that sometimes following them can actually add a huge spin of excitement. And we've seen a huge surge in this stuff. So first one is Euro Truck Simulator. This game is literally, you take the part of a truck driver, look, you inside the cockpit, the driver's seat, and you take a truck across the entirety of Europe to deliver goods. And you've got to make sure that the goods deliver unscathed and on time, and it's kind of like quite relaxing. You're in the drive, I've never driven a truck. Those are quite big, high-end pieces of tech, so you get to experience that. And then also, if you've got like a fancy steering wheel, I really want to start reviewing some of that stuff on the show, but like a fancy steering wheel that you can have, people literally get involved and will shift gears and travel and just go like, that's what I'm going to do for the next 2 hours. I'm going to put myself in somebody else's shoes, and then you'll fail if you break the rules of the road, you know?
Yeah, so I think I'm so used to GTA jumping into a truck and like hijacking it and going forward, but I suppose that culture, maybe that could breed something a bit negative when you are outside of the game. Maybe following the rules could actually help human behavior.
Funny that you mentioned GTA. So everybody knows GTA as Grand Theft Auto, and a lot of parents go like, that's my worst nightmare. I don't want my kids playing this game. I know that was the narrative when we were at school. But what's been happening online has been very interesting. There's something called GTA role-playing, or RP. And what it is people that are either live streaming on a private server where there's huge amounts of rules, and you've got to obey them, and you partake as a citizen of that city. So in this particular case, you'll see somebody is live streaming on Twitch, and they are a traffic cop inside the game, and other players will be on voice chat, so there's something called proximity voice. Yeah. So if I approach you in the game, you can hear what I'm saying on my microphone, and the rules of the server will be, your microphone has to be on. You have to obey the rules of the road. And then it would be my job as a traffic cop to pull over somebody that's breaking the rules of the road and get them arrested, and then we've got to play our characters. I've got to play as a traffic cop, whatever character I've created, kind of like Dungeons & Dragons style. And your if you are breaking the rules, have got a different career and get arrested, you've got to play the person that you've created, which is very exciting. I love role-playing. I think role-playing is something more, I know people think it's lame, it's like Dungeons & Dragons.
It's really cool,
but pulling yourself out of your comfort zone and having a good time with other people and learning how to just free yourself is really cool. So I really like that.
It's the escapism of it, I suppose. You know, you get to be somebody within another space and you get to interact like them.
Yeah, and it's good for your creativity and it's good for the family. You can do that with your kids, like dads, do that with your kids, pull yourself out of yourself, and your kids will have the best time. Like my dad used to do that with storybooks. He used to make up stories that weren't in the storybooks, but you just get into it. And those are some of my fondest memories, like before I was 10 years old. And like you were busy making memories for your kid, which is cool. So the next one is Bus Simulator 21. So, like Truck Simulator, Bus Simulator does the same thing, but you have to pick up passengers, make sure that you hit the right stops, choose the right buses, and also it's one of those games where people have rigged up steering wheel, like simulation steering wheels and gear shifts, all even with the buttons that you press to open up the door for the passengers that get into the bus. And then you drive around real cities like London and make sure that you drop off your passengers correctly at those bus stops. So it becomes, again, you just put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I don't know what happens when there's a rowdy passenger. Like, I don't know what...
See, that's where the other part of your game mind goes off, like, oh, well, what is going to be like a skirmish?
It's going to be like Speed 2. Yes. You know, remember Speed 2? That was the one with the bus, right? Yeah. Or was it the boat? I don't know.
Yeah, it's with the boat. Cruise control was the second one. The first one is the bus, the second one is the boat,
Okay, yes. Okay, and then there's another one called The Bus, which is also very similar to Bus Simulator, and obviously there's a huge market for this. As you can see, look at this. You can drive around. The top right and top left-hand side of the screen, you can see the simulation steering wheel.
That is so cool.
And if you've got a VR headset, you can look around potentially as well in your bus, and this person is going to open up the bus for their passengers and make sure that they are paying their, they're tapping their payment systems, getting into the bus, trying to, it just goes to show this game would not be fun if you broke the rules of the road, and it's way more fun to see if you can keep them. And what's nice about these games from a South African is that a lot of them are driving on the other side of the road.
Oh, okay.
So you also have to get used to that. But Euro Truck Simulator, left-hand side of the road, American games, role-play, GTA role-play, right-hand side of the road.
But I think you touched on some very, very important things there with regard to role-playing and having that fun with the kids as well. I think also cultivating an environment where you are following the rules and that becomes cool, so to speak, which is good for
fun. I think we need to understand that following rules can be fun, but also following the road rules means that you live. And it's one of those things that you're being inconsiderate, not only to yourself, because you might kill yourself, but the people around you. I've got a kid, and a newborn child in the back of our car, and there were people driving around recklessly. I was like, what would happen to your life if you had an accident with us? Your whole life would change. And kill my child. Just follow the rules of the road. Just, they're there for a reason, and be considerate and observant of other people around you.
Absolutely. And some games to take you there. Euro Truck Simulator, you got GTA role-playing game, Bus Simulator, and The Bus. Go check them out if you've got some time. But of course, now it's time for us to follow the rules of the show, to entertain you with our musical act.